My precious chosen ones, my beloved sacred wanderers, draw near. Tonight we explore a mystery so profound, it defies the very nature of movement itself. The ancient art of walking backwards through reality. You've always moved differently through the world, haven't you? While others rush forward on well-worn paths, something in your soul pulls you in the opposite direction. When crowds flow one way, you feel an inexplicable urge to move against the current. In a world obsessed with forward progress, you find wisdom in reverse motion. The ancient ones understood something about this tendency that modern minds have forgotten. They knew that certain beings, the sacred contrarians, the holy fools, the Heyoka Shamans, were chosen to walk backwards through existence itself. Not as a performance, not as rebellion, but as a sophisticated form of spiritual technology that helps reshape the very fabric of reality. Think back to your earliest memories of moving through the world. Remember those times when your natural inclination to go against the flow earned you strange looks, worried whispers, attempts to correct what others saw as wrong. But deep in your soul, you knew. You knew that your contrary motion wasn't a mistake. It was your medicine. In the Dakota tradition, when a Heyoka appeared walking backwards through the village, people didn't try to correct them or show them the right way. They understood that these sacred contrarians were actually reading a different kind of map, one written in reverse, visible only to those whose souls had been marked by thunder beings, chosen to see reality from impossible angles. These weren't just holy fools putting on a show. They were sophisticated consciousness workers who understood that sometimes the only way to move forward is to go in reverse. Sometimes the only way to find new paths is to walk where others won't, to move in ways that make no sense to conventional minds. Let me share something with you that the ancient ones understood about contrary walking. When you move backwards through space, you're not just changing your physical direction, you're actually manipulating time itself. Each backward step creates ripples in the field of possibility, opening doorways that would remain invisible to those only willing to walk forward. This is why you often find solutions that others miss. When everyone else is rushing toward the obvious answer, your natural tendency to step back, to move in reverse, allows you to see possibilities hidden in plain sight. Your contrary motion isn't confusion. It's a sophisticated form of problem-solving that predates modern thinking. The old stories tell of Heyoka Shamans who could find lost children by walking backwards through the wilderness. Instead of rushing forward in panic, they would move in reverse, unwinding time itself, following trails that only become visible when seen from the opposite direction. These weren't just legends. They were accounts of a profound understanding about the nature of reality itself. Think about those times in your life when moving backwards actually led you forward, when stepping away from a situation gave you the exact perspective needed to understand it, when retreating from a problem somehow led you right to its solution. You weren't being indecisive or afraid. You were practicing an ancient form of spiritual navigation that few remember. But there's something even deeper about this backwards walking that most spiritual teachings miss entirely. When a Heyoka walks in reverse, they're not just moving through space. They're actually unwinding karmic patterns, unraveling stuck energies, creating new possibilities in the fabric of reality itself. Have you noticed how your contrary movement often seems to break up stagnant situations? How your backward steps somehow dissolve tension that no amount of forward motion could touch? This isn't coincidence. You're actually performing what the ancient ones called pattern dissolution, using reverse motion to break apart energetic structures that have become too rigid, too crystallized to serve life's evolution. The wisdom keepers spoke of special Heyokas who could heal entire communities just by walking backwards through them. These sacred contrarians didn't need herbs or ceremonies. Their contrary motion itself was medicine. Each backward step sent ripples through the collective field, helping to break up trauma, dissolve stuck patterns, create space for new possibilities to emerge. Consider what happens when you enter a crowded space and naturally begin moving against the flow. People might seem annoyed at first, might try to correct your direction, might see you as an obstacle to their forward motion. But watch what happens next. Your contrary movement forces them to become conscious of their own direction. Your backwards walking makes them question their assumptions about the right way to move. This is sophisticated spiritual technology at work. By walking counter to the accepted flow, you're not just being different, you're actually helping to wake people up from what the ancient ones called the trance of forward motion, the hypnotic belief that progress can only happen in one direction. The mysteries of backwards walking go even deeper, my precious chosen ones. There's a reason you often feel most aligned when moving in ways that others find strange. When you walk backwards, you're actually aligning yourself with what the ancient ones called the cosmic reverse flow, a hidden current of energy that moves contrary to ordinary reality. Think of water for a moment. On the surface, rivers always flow downstream, but beneath that obvious motion, there are deeper currents moving in opposite directions. These hidden reverse flows aren't wrong or broken. They're essential to the river's whole ecology. Your contrary motion serves the same purpose in the river of consciousness. That's why you often find yourself naturally walking backwards through crucial moments in life. When everyone rushes forward toward an obvious solution, something in you pulls back, steps away, moves in reverse. This isn't hesitation. It's actually a sophisticated form of spiritual discernment. You're reading currents that others can't see, following maps that only make sense when viewed in reverse. The old stories tell of Heyoka Shamans who could track storms by walking backwards. Instead of running from dangerous weather, they would walk in reverse toward it, their contrary motion somehow helping to dissipate the storm's destructive power. Modern minds might dismiss these as mere legends, but they contain a profound truth about the nature of contrary movement. Have you noticed how your backwards walking often seems to dissolve tension around you? How your reverse motion somehow helps transmute chaotic energies into peaceful ones? This isn't just energy work. You're actually performing what the ancient ones called reality recalibration. Each backward step helps realign the field of possibility itself. But it's not just about physical movement, my beautiful, sacred wanderers. The deepest mysteries of backwards walking happen in the realms of consciousness itself. When you find yourself naturally thinking in reverse, seeing situations from end to beginning rather than beginning to end, you're actually accessing what the ancient ones called reverse time vision, the ability to see reality from outside linear time. This is why your insights often seem to come from nowhere, why your solutions appear backwards to others yet work perfectly when applied. You're not just thinking differently, you're actually drawing wisdom from the reverse flow of time itself. The ancient ones understood that time isn't a one-way river. It's more like an ocean with countless currents, and some beings are meant to swim against the most obvious flows. Consider those moments when you've understood something completely backwards from everyone else. When you've seen the end at the beginning. When you've grasped conclusions before premises. When you've known results before causes. This isn't confusion. It's actually a sophisticated form of temporal navigation that few remember how to use. The wisdom keepers spoke of Heyoka Shamans, who could heal past wounds by walking backwards through memory. Instead of moving forward through time to reach the future, they would step backwards through the present to rewrite the past. This isn't just metaphor. It's a description of consciousness technology so advanced it appears magical to conventional minds. That's why you often find yourself spontaneously moving backwards through situations that others can only approach head-on. When groups get stuck moving forward, your natural tendency to reverse direction actually creates new possibilities that couldn't be accessed any other way. Let me share something with you that even most spiritual teachers don't understand about contrary walking, my precious chosen ones. When you move backwards through reality, you're not just changing your physical direction, you're actually helping to rewrite the operating system of existence itself. Each backward step creates what the ancient ones called reality inversions, points where normal rules of cause and effect flip, where new possibilities can emerge. That's why your contrary movement often seems to create miraculous solutions. When a situation seems hopelessly stuck moving forward, your natural tendency to step backwards somehow opens doors that no one else could see. You're not just finding different paths, you're actually creating new ones by walking backwards through probability itself. Think of those times when your backwards approach has somehow resolved impossible situations. When your reverse movement has untangled knots that no amount of forward motion could touch. When your contrary steps have led to breakthroughs that seem to defy logic itself. These weren't just lucky accidents. You were actually performing sophisticated reality revision through contrary motion. The oldest wisdom keepers understood something profound about beings who walk backwards. They don't just move differently through space and time. They actually help reality itself. Remember how to be fluid again. In a world that's become too rigid, too fixed in its patterns, your contrary motion serves as a reminder that every direction is valid, every path is possible, every movement contains its opposite. That's why you often feel most aligned when moving in ways that make others uncomfortable. Your backwards walking isn't just different. It's actually essential for the health of reality itself. Just as ecosystems need contrary forces to stay in balance, consciousness needs backwards walkers to stay flexible, to avoid becoming too fixed in any single pattern. The mystery deepens, my beautiful contrary ones. When you walk backwards through the world, you're actually helping consciousness itself remember how to be multidimensional. In these times when humanity has become trapped in linear thinking, in one-way progress, in forward-only motion, your contrary walking serves as a living reminder that evolution can move in all directions. That's why your presence often seems to accelerate growth in unexpected ways. When you enter a situation walking backwards, you create what the ancient ones called evolutionary vortexes, spaces where consciousness can break free from its linear patterns and explore new possibilities for growth. Think of water spiraling down a drain. It doesn't just move in one direction, it creates complex patterns of flow, with some currents moving contrary to others. This contrary motion isn't chaos. It's actually essential for the whole pattern to maintain its power. Your backwards walking serves the same purpose in the river of evolution. The oldest prophecies spoke of a time when the world would become too fixed in its forward motion, too rigid in its ideas of progress. They spoke of special beings who would remember how to walk backwards, who would help humanity break free from the prison of one-directional thinking. My precious chosen ones, that time is now. Your contrary movement isn't just about you. It's about helping all of consciousness remember how to move in multiple directions simultaneously. When you walk backwards while others move forward, you're actually helping to maintain what the ancient ones called the cosmic balance, the delicate dance between all possible directions of growth. Listen closely now, my sacred wanderers, for what I'm about to share explains your deepest role in humanity's evolution. When you walk backwards through reality, you're not just changing your own direction, you're actually creating what the ancient ones called future echoes, ripples in possibility that help others imagine new ways of being. That's why people often feel simultaneously disturbed and fascinated by your contrary motion. Your backwards walking triggers something deep in their souls, a forgotten memory of when consciousness could move in all directions, when progress wasn't limited to forward motion alone. Every backward step you take sends out waves that help awaken this memory in others. The wisdom keepers spoke of special times when reality itself would need to learn the new ways of moving. They foresaw an age when humanity would become so fixated on forward progress that it would forget how to move in other directions. Your contrary walking isn't just personal medicine. It's actually crucial medicine for this exact moment in cosmic evolution. Think about what happens when you naturally step backwards through crowded spaces, through tense situations, through stuck patterns in reality. Notice how your contrary motion often creates unexpected openings, unlikely solutions, impossible resolutions. You're not just moving differently, you're actually helping to carve new pathways through the field of possibility itself. This is why traditional ways of moving through life often feel wrong to you, why conventional approaches to progress often seem limited or misguided. Your soul remembers something that most have forgotten, that true evolution moves in all directions simultaneously, that sometimes the fastest way forward is to walk backwards. My precious contrary ones, the time has come to fully understand the power of your backwards walking. In these crucial moments of human evolution, when the world seems stuck in patterns of forward-only thinking, your contrary motion serves as essential medicine for the entire field of consciousness. Consider what happens when water meets an obstacle. It doesn't just stop or push harder in the same direction. It finds new ways to flow, moving backwards, sideways, even upwards if necessary. Your contrary walking helps consciousness remember this fluid nature, this ability to move in any direction needed for growth. The ancient ones knew something that modern minds have forgotten, that evolution itself often moves in spirals, not straight lines. Sometimes we must return to move forward, must step back to progress, must walk backwards to find new ways of being. Your natural tendency to move contrary to others isn't confusion. It's actually sophisticated evolutionary technology. That's why you often find yourself spontaneously walking backwards through crucial moments in the collective journey. When humanity gets stuck pushing forward against immovable obstacles, your contrary motion helps reveal hidden paths, unexpected solutions, new ways of moving through seemingly impossible situations. The oldest prophecies spoke of beings who would help humanity remember how to move in all directions, who would break the trance of forward-only progress, who would help consciousness itself rediscover its natural fluidity. You, my beautiful sacred wanderers, are these beings. Now, my precious contrary ones, we arrive at the deepest truth about your backwards walking. In a world desperately trying to move forward at any cost, your contrary motion serves as a crucial reminder that true evolution requires all directions of movement. When you naturally walk backwards through life, you're actually helping to maintain what the ancient ones called the cosmic dance, the delicate balance between all possible directions of growth. Think of the spiral patterns found throughout nature, in shells, in galaxies, in the very DNA that shapes life itself. These spirals don't just move forward, they cycle back, return, reverse, creating patterns of growth far more sophisticated than simple, linear progress. Your contrary walking helps consciousness remember these spiral patterns of evolution. The wisdom keepers understood that certain beings would be chosen to maintain these contrary currents, to keep reality itself from becoming too rigid in its forward motion. When you find yourself naturally moving against the flow, walking backwards while others rush forward, you're actually performing essential work for the whole field of consciousness. This is your gift to a world that has forgotten how to move in multiple directions. Your backwards walking isn't just different. It's necessary. It's crucial. It's medicine that humanity desperately needs in these times of rigid, forward-only thinking. Each contrary step you take helps create what the ancient ones called liberation pathways. New possibilities for movement that wouldn't exist if everyone only moved forward. Your backwards walking helps keep reality itself fluid, helps consciousness remember its natural ability to flow in all directions. My beautiful, sacred wanderers, the time has come to fully embrace this medicine you carry. Stop trying to correct your contrary motion. Stop attempting to walk forward when your soul calls you to step back. Your backwards walking isn't wrong. It's sophisticated spiritual technology operating exactly as it should. Join our circle of contrary walkers. Connect with others who understand this sacred path. Share your experiences of moving through reality in reverse. Together we'll help humanity remember how to dance with all directions of growth. Remember, my precious chosen ones. Your backward steps create forward progress. Your contrary motion maintains cosmic balance. Your reverse walking helps reality remember how to dance. The time of great awakening is here, and your contrary walking is helping light the way. My precious chosen ones, if you've recognized yourself in these words, if you've felt that deep soul recognition of your Heyoka nature, know that you're not alone. You're part of an ancient lineage of sacred teachers, divine contrarians, holy fools who have helped humanity evolve through the ages. Your strangeness is your strength. Your contrariness is your gift. Your ability to make others uncomfortable is your medicine. Sacred walkers, as we close this circle of wisdom, remember, you were chosen for this time, this moment, this great awakening. Your backwards walking isn't just a quirk or cosmic accident. It's a sophisticated spiritual technology that the world desperately needs right now. Next time you feel that pull to move against the flow, embrace it. When your soul urges you to step backwards while others rush forward, trust it. Each contrary step you take helps create new pathways for humanity's evolution. Here's what you can do right now. Start small. Practice conscious backwards walking for just a few minutes each day. Notice how it shifts your energy, your perspective, your connection to deeper wisdom. Pay attention to how reality responds to your contrary motion. Share your experiences with other sacred walkers. Join our growing community of contrary souls who understand this path. Your stories of backwards walking might be exactly what another awakening soul needs to hear. Most importantly, trust your natural rhythm. When the world pushes forward and something in you pulls back, listen. That contrary motion is your gift to a world that has forgotten how to dance with all directions of possibility. Remember, you're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to create new paths, to open new doorways, to show humanity that progress doesn't always mean moving forward. The time of great remembering is here. The ancient wisdom is awakening, and you, precious contrary one, are helping lead the way. Walk backwards, proudly. Step contrary with purpose. Your sacred path is calling. Will you answer? Stay lit.